Khel Khel Mein review. Taapsee Pannu takes the trophy home. Akshay Kumar's return to comedy is laudable. Do interpersonal relationships exactly look like what they do from the surface? Are all marriages happy marriages? Are all friendships based on a solid foundation of trust and selflessness? What happens when you unravel phony lies about your confidants who you realize have been masked strangers all this while? Mudassar explores relationships' complexities, nuances, and messiness under the garb of being a comic caper. Reportedly, it is based on the 2016 Italian comedy drama, a film that holds the record of being remade 28 times, but deserves brownie points for adapting it, keeping desi sensibilities in mind, where adultery alone isn't the only reason for relationships to fall apart. Often, it's families, money, and other external factors that lead to trouble in paradise. Khel begins with Rishabh, a plastic surgeon rushing to catch a flight to Jaipur. At the airport, he meets a beautiful woman named Kadambari. On learning that there are no seats left in the flight that's about to take him to his destination, he lies to a staff member that his dog is breathing his last, and so, it's his wish to see him one last time. The staff member, overwhelmed, gives both him and the tickets. While on the plane, the duo strikes up a conversation where he reveals that he's actually going to attend his sister-in-law's wedding. This sequence featuring not only washes you over with nostalgia, yes, the theme music of plays in the background, but also establishes the theme of. Rishabh is a borderline pathological liar and seems rather proud of being able to come up with credible lies whenever he has to. We're then introduced to his wife, an author, and two other couples. Rishabh have a rocky marriage where his daughter from his first marriage doesn't share a smooth relationship with her stepmother. And this bothers. To add to that, Rishabh and Vertika are currently in that 3-month phase of reconciliation and are trying to give their marriage another shot. Salmar is an employee at father's firm, while the hoity-toity, who's battling depression, spends most of her time indulging in luxury and splurging on expensive vintage wear. Harpreet and are a couple who had an arranged marriage. But all's not well between them either. The husband doesn't think twice before belittling his wife in front of other people and is never nice to her. The wife, on the other hand, leaves no stone unturned to impress him, but her efforts almost always go in vain. These couples from Drive Down to for the wedding, and thrown into this mix is a cricket coach and the 7th member of their group, who comes alone. One night during the wedding, decides to play a game where everyone has to place their phones on the table and every incoming message has to be read out loud and every call put on the speaker. The wives agree to the game, but the husbands don't. Eventually, they give in and chaos ensues. Deep, dark secrets come out of the closet that begin to sever their equations. The first half of the film is riddled with comic moments, some of which land and some that don't. The scene where female Harpreet gets a call from her friend Voice makes a cameo here, who, unaware that the call is on speaker mode, ends up taking potshots at everyone present at the table, will make you burst out into peals of laughter. Yet another sequence that will tickle your funny bones is the one where male decide to exchange their phones to not get caught. The awkwardness, when extramarital partner calls and his sexuality gets questioned eventually, is packed with palpable awkwardness and is brilliantly written, executed, and performed. Both impeccable comic timing is put on display, and it's their restraint that makes the episode even more hilarious. And while this half of is packed with oodles of jokes, one-liners, and repartees, a crisper and tighter editing would have definitely helped amp up the overall comical quotient of the plot. But we suggest you sit through it, as it's the second half that does all the magic. No loose ends will be tied here, and a bigger pandemonium will follow, but be assured that you will remain heavily invested in it. And a big credit for the same goes to. She's the best thing about the film and simply knocks it out of the park as a demure and innocent wife. Her transition from that to an unhinged and unapologetic woman who finally takes a stand for herself is beautiful. Her is tailor-made for her, and it's a welcome change from the resolute and unyielding characters she's usual.